Hello my Scrappy friends, it is Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and the challenge I'm working on today is the Scrap Lift a DT challenge. So this is the layout I'm scrap lifting by Louise, and this is for the Kitaholics Kits September Spring online crop. The crop has already taken place. It happened on the 25th to the 27th of September. It was a lot of fun. And I had a really good time participating with the challenges. I completed all 7 of the challenges, and this is one of them that I have created. So I just got my Heidi Swap Colour Shine in blush and a paintbrush, and I'm just dipping straight in and painting up some triangles all over this black and white paper. I think this paper is Heidi Swap as well, I think. Something old, but I think it's Heidi Swap. So I am just digging in. So Louise originally used also a black and white paper, and she used one with like text on it. And I really wanted to go with that same sort of feel, that black and white, so that when you put the triangles on top, it was really quite striking. It took me quite a lot of time to find something in my stash that was suitable. I wasn't going to use this door one because I didn't actually think it was suitable, but the layout I decided to do was our Friday night tradition of Friday night takeaway. This was pre-kids. And I thought, well, actually it does kind of work because, you know, the doors are sort of about your house and being at home. So that's what I decided to go for. Now, when I was painting on these triangles, I realized I was painting some of them quite neatly. And I really didn't want that super perfect, neat look. When I looked closer at Louise's, hers was a little bit messy and had a few spills and things like that. Shouldn't call them spills. But I liked that. I liked that sort of not perfectly straight, you know, almost like you've put washi tape down to make sure it doesn't bleed across the edges sort of feel. So in the end, I deliberately started smooshing up my colours. I also noticed when looking at Louise's, she used, I think it was Distress Oxide inks in a spray bottle like this. And I noticed that she had sort of different tones of the colour happening in her triangles. I'm assuming that was to do with the pigment and how much were in some spots compared to others, and I really liked that look as well. And the Heidi Swap Colour Shine didn't really do that, but I tried anyway. So I layered it up, I put extra splodges in some spots and sort of left it thinner in other spots because I really loved that sort of look of thicker parts and thinner parts and more colour. The one thing that the Heidi Swap will do as well that was nice, that I liked the look of, was the shine, the sparkle that's going to come out from the Heidi Swap. So I think that's going to have a nice little effect on the page too. So once I go ahead and paint all of those triangles, then I get some gold and I splatter some gold on. Now, if you're going to splatter on your gold while the other paint is wet, it is going to sort of run or bleed a little bit, so do be aware of that. I actually quite like that look, so I'm happy to get in there with my splatters and pop some gold on straight away. And I'm focusing all of those splatters on each individual triangle. So I'm just going to split, splat, split, splat all over just those triangle points. And then once that's done, I'm going to set it aside to dry. Once it is dried, once it is completely dry, I'm going to get a ruler and a black marker, like a thicker marker, not like a ballpoint pen or like a fine liner, almost like a texter. And I'm going to rule around each individual triangle in black, which I have gone ahead and done off screen because that did take a little bit of time. Then I don't own a white pen. Note to self, I should get one. But I did pull out a really fine brush and my Liquitex white acrylic ink, and I'm just brushing on some white ink again in the highlight of each of the triangles. Now this is all a direct scrap lift of Louise and exactly what she did. My process might be a little bit different, but the overall look and feel is exactly what Louise created, and I'm really happy with how this is looking. I knew when I saw Louise's layout all those months ago that I really wanted to give this a try, so this challenge was a lot of fun to actually get me trying it, to finally get to that stage and creating this design. So I think it looks pretty cool. So then again, I set this aside as well, and then it is time to focus on the embellishing of the actual layout and the photos. My photo is very small. It is a print off Instagram, so it's only about a 3x3 square. So I have a little bit of a play with the papers and things like that as well on this. Again, just copying the sort of mood and feel that Louise designed with her original layout. Just adding a few little highlighting points to each of the different spots. I noticed that the acrylic ink was sort of soaking in a little bit and it dulled down, so I did just add a few extra layers on top of some of those spots. Louise also added a little bit of texture with this stencil, with this exact same stencil, around the top and bottom of where her photo placement's going to go. So I did the same thing. I already had this texture paste that I'd put aside from at a previous time. So I just thought I'd use this sort of grey-black texture paste that I had in my cupboard. And again, I'm going to let that dry. And then it's time to get started. Now, I really probably should have gone into my stash and pulled out a black and white or just a black piece of cardstock for this, but I didn't. I decided to go with a sort of pinky color that tied in with I was trying to match the triangles. It looks fine, there's no problem, but I probably should have gone with black the way that Louise did also. I think that would have really highlighted the black texture paste and highlighted the lines around the triangles, but I didn't. I went with this sort of pinky color, so I'm just going to roll with it. These papers are Little by Little by Chamel, so I backed my photo in the same pink that I put down along the bottom, and I was going to use that word hello because I thought that would help tie it in all together, because obviously that hello is in the same color as the photo mat and also in the same color as the tear along the bottom. But in the end, I don't keep it. It's a little bit of a shame because I think 3 things would have helped draw your eye, but it just didn't work with the title I wanted to use. So now I'm having a play with the Little by Little ephemera to work out what to put where. I like that hello stamp because it is the exact same color match as the triangles, but also now looking back on it through the video, I actually really liked that other tag as well that was also the same color as the photo mat and the ripped paper down the bottom. I do think that just one more piece in that sort of purpley pink color of the ripped paper along the bottom would have been perfect, but we will see. I do have some more embellishment to come and that might help. So I am just adding this little tag. You can see I popped on my title, which is Friday Night Takeaway, and a little arrow pointing to that takeaway. I'm just, having a play with this ephemera. There's not really any particular rhyme or reason to it. I know that in Louise's layout, she had a few frames that she popped behind and she had a few tags. Obviously, I don't have the same ephemera that she's using, so I'm just sort of having a play with my placement and just trying to get it to sort of fall in place in the right spots. I do feel like it's missing something at this point, so I keep looking through that sticker book to try and have something jump out at me, but I'm just not finding anything that's really clicking, I suppose is the word. So still just having a little play. I like the general feel of this layout. I knew when I saw Louise's and that I was copying it that I would like this layout, but I'm still just having a bit of a play with how exactly I want it to look. Just popping some ephemera down along the bottom as well. I feel like that Bright Idea yellow ephemera piece, sticker piece, is really bright, and I don't hate the yellow on the page, but now I feel like I need more of it, so I just popped a piece down the bottom and a piece near the hello tag as well. I end up covering most of that hello tag's yellow, but I know that it's there, so that's okay. Just that little pop of sunshine coming out is okay. I also felt that the red on the happiness tag was really quite bright, so I want to try and get a little bit more red in somewhere as well. So I end up just pulling a tiny word sticker and popping that down in this bottom cluster too, just because of how bright that red is. That camera just kept annoying me because it kept falling off the sticker sheet, so I just popped him on. And I still need something else on that hello stamp. It's just looking really bland. So I'm just going to add these last two houses. Just all goes with the sort of house feel here now. And use one of these flare buttons. I usually find them hard to use because they're so bulky. So I'll just pop a black one on down there just to tie that black in down along the bottom as well. Because obviously I've got the black texture paste on the top and bottom of the photo mat, the large mat, and then I've got the black text, a title, so I thought I needed something else down along the bottom. And then I put on some black enamel dots that also is from the Schumel collection, and I'm pretty much done. So I'm thinking it's missing something. Even though I felt like I was finished, I put on my enamel dots, so I pulled the sticker sheet back, and I'm actually going to use some of the acrylic stickers, the see-through stickers in the florals, and just add some of those onto the page. I think it just needed something to help pop that up just a little bit more because it was just lacking. And even though I'm covering quite a bit of that yellow sticker that I said I really needed there, by putting the yellow flower on top, it's okay. There's still sort of that pop of yellow coming around the page. I'm going to spread out a few little tiny flowers coming away from the clusters, and I think that was a nice little addition. It was a nice little thing to help tie that all together. So now that this layout is finished, I'm going to jump to the close-up photographs. I hope you have enjoyed this process, and I hope maybe you can give it a try as well. Louise's triangle idea was just so cool. I'd love to see your take on this also. Have a happy, scrappy week, and I will see you next time. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.